Welcome back to Autistically Accurate and My Pensieve. I bet you're gonna like it. My Pensieve episode 33. The Elven Decline, a cycle of moral and spiritual fall. In the tales of ancient times, there are whispers of a race that stood above all others in wisdom, beauty, and grace. The Elves, as they are known, were once beings of light, unburdened by the weight of mortality and untouched by the shadows that plagued the younger races. They walked the earth as immortal sentinels of knowledge and harmony, ever in tune with the song of creation. It is said that these elves were not only long-lived but also ageless, their lives a reflection of divine purity, unmarred by the corruption that would later sweep across the land. But as with all things, time and the choices of beings weigh heavily upon the world. The elves, who once stood closest to the divine, began a slow descent, their spirits tethered more and more to the material world. In this grand tale of decline, one can see echoes of an ancient truth, a cycle of strength, decay, and rebirth that has shaped not only their fate but that of all creatures who walk the earth. This fall from grace mirrors the eternal cycle of civilizations, hard times forging strong men, who in turn create prosperity. But prosperity breeds complacency, and in that ease, men weaken, their fortitude lost to indulgence. This pattern, often repeated in the history of mankind, mirrors the transformation from elf to dwarf to human and, in the most tragic cases, orc. Each stage reflects the state of the soul, its relationship with the divine, the world, and its own inner strength. The Elven Age, strength and purity. In the beginning, the elves represent a time of strength, not merely in physical prowess but in moral and spiritual fortitude. They are akin to the strong men of the cycle, formed in the fires of divine purpose, untainted by the trappings of the material. Their longevity was not a burden but a gift, allowing them to cultivate wisdom over countless ages. In them, we see a reflection of humanity's lost potential, what we might have been had we not fallen into sin. Elves, like those strong men of legend, create good times. Their stewardship of the world brings about an era of peace, knowledge, and harmony. But as the great elven civilizations grow comfortable in their prosperity, a subtle shift begins. What was once a pure and enduring connection to the divine starts to fade as the elves turn the gaze downward, toward the wonders of the physical world. The Dwarven Age, grounded in craftsmanship. As the elves fall, their descendants, the dwarves, emerge. In them, we see the manifestation of material focus. No longer immortal and ethereal, the dwarves are hardy and industrious, their lives dedicated to the crafting of the earth. Though they are still noble, they are more focused on survival, industry, and the mastery of physical creation. They, too, create good times, but their wisdom has shifted. What they create is solid, functional, and enduring, but it lacks the ethereal beauty of their elven forebears. The dwarves are like men in the middle of their cycle. They work to maintain the stability that the strong elves created, but their focus has shifted to the material, leaving behind some of the spiritual grace that once sustained their ancestors. The Human Age, the fall into moral struggle. But even the dwarves cannot hold the line forever. Their industriousness gives way to the Human Age, where the internal conflict between light and shadow, between good and evil, begins to rage. Humans are like the weak men of the cycle. They live in the good times that their forebears created, but they are ill-equipped to maintain them. Their lifespans are short, their desires untempered, and their souls are more easily corrupted. In this stage, there is a growing disconnect from both the divine and the practical wisdom of their predecessors. Humans live in a state of uncertainty, battling inner demons and struggling to find meaning in a world that no longer remembers the harmony of the elves or the craftsmanship of the dwarves. It is here that the seeds of decline are truly sown, for without a return to higher principles, the descent into darkness becomes inevitable. The Orc Age, the full descent into darkness. And so we come to the Orc Age, the final stage of degeneration. Orcs, once akin to elves, have become the antithesis of all that their ancestors once represented. They are creatures of hatred, chaos, and destruction, like the weak men who give rise to hard times. In their corruption, they have lost all connection to the divine and to their own humanity. They are consumed by their basest instincts, driven only by the desire to dominate and destroy. The orcs stand as a warning to all who would forget the lessons of history, that strength and wisdom, once lost, are hard to regain. Yet even in this darkness, there is the faint hope of redemption, for the cycle continues, and just as hard times create strong men, so too might the orcs, or the humans who verge on becoming them, find a way to reclaim their lost glory. The cycle of the fallen elves. In ages past, the elves did stand, with wisdom bright and open hand, their hearts attuned to heaven's light. In 'em, the world was pure and right. But time, like wind, did whisper low, and turned their hearts from things that glow, to earth and stone, their eyes did drift. From grace divine, their souls did shift. From elven height to dwarven might, they labored long through endless night. In stone and steel, their strength remained, but spirit's spark was dimmed, constrained. The dwarves then passed, and humans came, with shorter lives, yet hearts aflame. In fleeting time, they sought to know, but in their quest, the dark did grow. For men forgot the elven ways, the peace, the light of ancient days. In shadows deep, their spirits waned, till only ruin and wrath remained. And from this loss, the orcs were born, their twisted forms by hatred torn. They roamed the earth in dark despair, a mockery of once fair air. But even now, as night descends, a spark of hope the cycle sends. For through the trials, strength will rise, and lift once more to starry skies. In every fall, a seed is sown, that through the dark, the light has grown, and in the hearts of men will gleam the elven grace in a new dream. Thank you for watching this presentation. I'm confident I will compose and upload more regularly now that I have an AI reciting my script of saved philosophical commentary posts for your edutainment. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos and channel to everyone you believe will appreciate such serendipitously informative content.